it was first owned by the Indian, and then Thomas Spalding. Thomas Spalding, he was the one who brought the slaves here, and he gave some of the land. A lot of other slave owners on the mainland, they didn't really care for Thomas Spalding because he let his slave over here have more freedom than slave on the mainland did. And he also had this black guy, he was a Muslim, called Bilali. And Bilali was the one that mostly ran Thomas Spalding plantation. And the island is 11 miles long, 2 to 4 miles wide. Island is about 16,000 acres of land. And we have a total of about 65 people live on the island, but it's about 33 permanent residents that live in Hog Hammer community. And the rest of people are people who work for the state or work for the university. They live in some of the state housing. Now, we don't have no school here, so all the kids who live here, they ride the ferry to the mainland, to the school. And we have a total of 5 school kids that commute to the mainland. The first ferry leaves the island 7 o'clock, get to the mainland at 7:30, and the bus on the mainland pick them up, take them into there in the school, and they get back home about 10 minutes after 4. Now, as we drive along, y'all look out your window. Sometimes y'all might see some wildlife, and sometimes you might see a wild cow. So we do have wild cows on the island. And a lot of people say they never heard such thing as a wild cow. But there was cows when Mr. Reynolds had the dairy barn. There was cows he let go. Then it's multiply each year. Now the field y'all see here to your left. Now these fields used to be planted with long staple Sea Island cotton and sugarcane. And there used to be from 300 to 400 slaves working on the plantation here on the island. And it wasn't until the early 30s that R.J. Reynolds turned this into an all-grass airstrip. Now when Jimmy Carter was president, this is the airstrip here he came in at. The long staple Sea Island cotton sugarcane was the biggest thing grown here. They tried doing some rice, but rice didn't do too good. So they did rice on the mainland at Butler Island and Hartford Plantation. And the building we coming up to, this is called the hangar. And R.J. Reynolds used to use this hangar to store his DC-3. He had DC-3 to bring friends and family out to the island. So y'all look out for some wildlife now.
Okay. That's a plane, a DC-3. Okay. Wow.
Did any of y'all notice the name of the ferry this morning?
No, what was the name of it?
Anna Marie. It is named after R.J. Reynolds' 4th wife, which she passed away about 2.5 years ago. She was living in Switzerland. And that ferry y'all came on, now that's not our regular ferry. That is what we call our backup ferry. We call it the slow ferry. Because the other ferry, is up in South Carolina. They're painting the bottom, doing all the big maintenance work for the year. Another ferry is a bigger ferry. It only takes 15 minutes to come from the mainland to the island. The ferry y'all came